It's news time. Information is power. The current. The news headline. Hope Uzodinma of Imo State names of sponsors of Imo insecurity to be named in January. The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, on Saturday said that 18 suspects arrested by security agencies have given dependable evidence of the names of sponsors of insecurity in Imo State, added that their names will be ruled out on January 3rd, 2022. The governor disclosed this in Owerri, saying that the addressing elected officials of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in the state, and according to Uzodinma, the names of the sponsors will be made known during his Imo stakeholders meeting in January. According to the governor, APC is the party in power in Imo State and remains the party to beat, and as such, his government will not shy away from supporting the party. The party will be involved in my government. We will support the party that created the government. Elected APC officials should consider it a real privilege that they were elected by their people to serve them. Hence, they owe God a lot of gratitude. The opposition has been plotting so much evil against APC members and their leaders, and encourage the party faithful to be on alert. My government will do all within its power to ensure that Imo State government is safe and that anyone working to destabilize the system or encouraging criminality, no matter how high placed, will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Let me say, these two councillors were recently killed, and that those who killed them have been arrested, and those who have owned up to the crime, with different dimensions of crime against the people, and have also been given dependable evidence about their sponsors, who he said will make known at Imo State stakeholders by January 3rd, 2022. Do not be intimidated. So long as I remain the governor in this state, they will face the law. We have evidence of those who are behind the insecurity based on information from the suspect, and by January 3rd, 2022, when I hold Imo stakeholders meeting, I will reel out their names one after the other with the evidence of their role. Uzodinma says, lives are lost, people are being unjustly killed like animals, and we demand the return of peace in our society. We are saying enough is enough, no more bloodshed. Out of school children figure is witnessing a massive rise of orphans everywhere. We can't travel in peace. The economy is crumbling. People are burnt while traveling. The protesters marched from Audu Bako Secretariat to the Kano government house, where security operatives received the group of protesters, listened to them, and promised to take the matter further to the appropriate quarters. Meanwhile, following the recent spike in terror attacks in Sokoto and Katsina states, President Muhammadu Buhari has dispatched a high-level delegation made up of heads of national intelligence and security services to the two states. According to a statement by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Friday, Buhari expects the delegation to present an immediate situation report and recommendations on actions to follow to effectively deal with the worrying situation. And also, the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP, Professor Yowuse Aga has urged separatist agitators to go about their agitations in a civilized manner to avoid bloodshed. In an interview with Vincent Kalu, the Professor Agia, a former senator who has served twice as minister and twice as ambassador, said that the three zones that have produced presidents should wait for the other three zones to have president. After that, he noted that the president should be chosen purely through popular contest, devoid of zoning. Many Nigerians have tried to go back in history to situate Nigerians' problems in the amalgamation of 1914. They say that Nigerians' amalgamation into one country should never be taking place because of our differences. These groups insist that the amalgamation's expiration date is over and is now the time for the dissolution of the Federation. But I say these people are wrong. There is no manual for the formation of nations. Wars, accidents, imperialism, necessity, agreement, arbitrations, and consensus have all given birth to countries. Our nation was born from imperialism and became a British colony after the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. but we shook off the shackles of colonialism and emerged as an independent nation. The whole world still understanding that Nigeria would be a great nation and would wipe away the tears of all black people of the world by building a great democracy and a republic where justice and honor, peace and progress will be showcased. The reasons for the failure to attain greatness are that we have poor leaders and poor followers who have not been able to make nation building their number one priority. Our leaders have continued to wallow in ethnic racism and corruption. Ironically, it was based on Pan-African unity and nationalism, and our founding fathers got independence. But soon after independence, we have systematically destroyed every fabric of nation building through corruption and ethnic racism. The last 6 years have been the very worst in throwing up Nigeria's fault lines. The parties have failed to give leadership, and they lack ideological commitment, purpose, or clarity. The weak institutions of states have been unable to defend democracy, and the Nigerian people have yet not resolved on national greatness. When we decide, nobody can stop us, the professor says. The professor also noted that the Nigerian elite must come together and overcome their apathy and decide to make Nigeria great through comprehensive restructuring of the federation, saying that we need more efficient and leaner federal civil and public service, and that we need the states to be stronger and the federal government to divest itself of its overwhelming control at the center, saying that we must resolve to tackle tribalism with greater intensity that we have fought corruption, saying that the last thing we need to do in addressing our nation's calamity is to recruit into politics and public sphere people with sound character who see wrong as wrong and who are courageous to stand up to forces that seek to destroy Nigeria. Asking about insecurity, saying that we started with Boko Haram and now ISWAP, saying that the United Arab Emirates recently named some Nigerians sponsoring the insurgent group, saying that Nigerians were excited, thinking that those who have contributed to the plunging this country into the crisis that has got millions of dollars and the carnage that followed will be prosecuted. However, the presidency said charging them is not a priority, and the professor was asked about his view on this particular statement, responding that the view is that the government has been living in denial and that Nigeria is first starting from a civil war that religious extremists and ethnic bigotry have foisted over us. The government has invented semantics of deception, which is helping terrorists by packaging them as bandits and even worse, non-state actors. I was walking on eggshells to call the foreign Fulani terrorists arsonists, rapists and land grabbers through genocide as non-state actors. Kidnapping has been packaged as a foreign flourishing business as well. Perhaps this government is slowly manufacturing our consent and clandestining origin of our surrender to a Taliban-type insurrection, and the facts are too glaring to say otherwise, saying that the government knows the sponsor of these asymmetric wars and they know how to block their funding and know far more than they wish the public to know.